early going of this 2003-2004 season because of that knee surgery, just rounding into shape. This is the best he's played this year.
We've got a real wrestling match going on between O'Neal and Rebraca, and a foul called on Rebraca.
Rebraca just looks at him and says, "What are you doing? Is this a good hard foul?" The frustration for the Indiana Pacers.
Two down, next 5.
Positioning, and Rebraca not backing down whatsoever. And you can't do that if you're going to win on the road.
The Pistons are over 500 on the road this year, 7.6% following their 5-for-5 opening salvo tonight. Shot clock at 10 for Indiana, and off the ball, another foul on Rebraca, I believe.
This is a tough
fouls
call
on him.
It's a tough call against Rebraca, who's appeared from this angle to have tremendous position. Jermaine O'Neal just bowls him out of the way, backing up. Sure, he put his arm over the top of him. That was to keep him getting leveled and put on his backside.
Miller got bumped by Sura. O'Neal against Rebraca. Sura the rebound.
Pistons have to anticipate that Jermaine O'Neal is going left virtually every time.
Sura nearly lost it. Rebraca with a pickup and score. The ball bouncing the way of the Pistons here tonight.
And for Rebraca to deliver right back on the offensive end after you get shortchanged on the fouls, come back at you with a jumper in his face.
In transition, Atkins. Rebraca finding Hamilton and a foul on Artest.
Now that's a foul.
And that's the third foul on Artest. O'Neal also with 3.
Beautiful back cut by Rip Hamilton. The strength of his game, like Reggie Miller, moving without the ball. Artest is burned badly. Test take advantage of his strength and size over Hamilton.
Artest working into the lane, and Hamilton called for the foul. 3 fouls on Hamilton. Whoa, 4 fouls on Hamilton.
We're seeing a completely different personality from Ron Artest tonight than we saw all of last season. Hamilton forced to the bench.
Davis thought he got fouled by Hoiberg, but it's just a strip. Garnett, too strong after zone, won't go in. Ilgauskas has it, loses it. Ball on the floor.
Very late whistle.
And now we got Nim and Garnett going at it. And Gary Trent was under the entire pile. I still never saw a jump ball get called there.
When the ball goes to the floor, it's always nice to have Gary Trent on your team.
Exactly. With that body. He should be like in the world's strongest man competition.
Out in the fourth quarter, and that's up to the coaching staff, and that lies on them.
And when Kidd was deciding whether to return to the Nets or go to the Spurs in July, it was reported that Kidd had demanded Scott's ouster as a condition for his return.
Did you talk about Byron's status?
I never talked about Coach Scott.
Once we finally got together, it was very simple. He said, "Coach, I didn't say anything like that. I would never say anything like that."
But the big thing was Coach Scott knew that I didn't say that, and we played phone tag for a little bit in the summertime. But I told him that what was written wasn't true, and that he deserved a contract as much as I did.
Nets president and general manager Rod Thorne declined to be interviewed on camera for this story, but acknowledged that Kidd had voiced his displeasure at times with some of Scott's decisions last season. However, Thorne denied that Kidd had asked that Scott be fired last summer. But even though the team's impending sale may be a factor, Scott is still waiting for a contract offer.
I think his record and the way that the success that he's had here will speak volumes.
I really don't worry about it. It's all in God's hands. If I'm here or not. I do know Byron Scott will be coaching. I know that. I don't know if it's in New Jersey or where else, but I do know I'll be coaching.
How about the job that Antonio Davis and Jerome Williams did up there on the boards? 14 rebounds apiece against this New Jersey Net team on Wednesday night.
Meanwhile, Sam Cassell not happy with the call from Joe DeRosa, and he's going to get hit with a technical foul.
Have you ever seen Sam happy with a call? And that's what I love about Sam Cassell. He brings an emotional toughness. Talking to Kevin McHale and Flip Saunders about the changes that they made in this offseason. They've only got 2 players from last year's playoff roster who were active and ready to go tonight.
What Cassell is complaining about now is that he felt he shouldn't have been hit with a technical. He's still unhappy with the call, but that's what he's talking to Joe DeRosa about now. Kevin Garnett, and you see how smart he is, gets in front and makes sure his point guard doesn't get that second technical and get ejected.
Welcome back to the NBA, Fred.
Sprewell. Latrell Sprewell from downtown. All of a sudden, a 12-1 run, and it's a 5-point game.
And Latrell Sprewell is getting into it with the fans here.
Earlier in the game, a fan had said something to him, and Sprewell was talking to one of the officials about it. He was beloved across the river at Madison Square Garden. Fans loved him there. He was a fan favorite. Of course, got booed here as an opponent when he was with the Knicks.
Looking much better, Bill.
I really hope that KG plays.
And they've cut the lead now down to 9. 3 quarters complete here in New Jersey on a night where the Nets hoisted their Eastern Conference champion banner and lost Kenyon Martin.
Yeah, from one superstar to another. Talking about Kevin Garnett and his intensity on the floor. Well, he's got a great sense of humor off the floor. I spent a long time today interviewing him. Right in the middle of our interview, a light crashed to the floor. Take a look at what happened.
Mom always told me that if you do something,
Oh, my gosh.
if you break something, then you have to pay for it. Unfortunately, I didn't break that.
Are we okay without that thing? Okay.
Okay, they're trying to kill me here in Jersey before the game. Just want everybody to know that. I'm in Jersey's locker room, and they just try to hit me with a light. Just want that to be known, okay?
He is a guy, Bill and Mike, who is extremely giving with his time to the media when it works into the schedule, and today it did, and we had a great time. Talked about a lot of subjects. As I mentioned, the Olympic team, he seems to think that he may be joining that effort in Athens in 2004.
We have enough trouble getting these guys to come in for these sit-down interviews. Now we're bombarding and dropping lights on their head.
You know, the expression with Garnett is he just gets it. He really gets it about where he is in the place in the NBA. Getting in the NBA, former football player at John Carroll University. And he's had a busy night discussing things with his partners and certainly the players.
Sounds like a battering ram. Yeah. He's going to be aggressive wherever he goes. Good morning. Okay, just don't pump him in there.
Did you hit him? Did you bump him?
I'm never going to hit him out there.
Did you bump him? You know you bumped him.
Who do you want? Don't come out here and start stuff, Irvin.
Gotta go jump ball.
We did you see jump ball?
Gotta go jump ball.
You gotta listen to him. You gotta go jump ball.
I'm out here. I don't have a clear look over here.
Big part of the game is dealing with players and having a rapport with them.
To stay out of the record books.
Oh, left-handed from Alonzo Mourning. A 21-point lead. And now, after the basket, players converging. And a foul call. Let's see if it's going to be a double foul as they got tangled up. Referee's just cursing. All right, Kevin, that'll be a fun one coming up. Meanwhile, for the Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett, who with a technical foul on that last incident after the play. And New Jersey up by 21.
Okay, meanwhile, Karl Malone suspended for that elbow at Steve Nash last night. Good suspension. Good suspension.
What's the league coming to when you can run your face into somebody's elbow and get a guy suspended?
It's still less than the 3-game suspension Mark Cuban was pushing for, but I don't think it was deserved or warranted here. I really don't.
One thing Gary Payton has brought to the game is a little fast break, push, shove, and he can make the 12-footer when he's not covered. I look like a halfback out there a little bit.
Just a little vet move right there. Just kind of help him go by.
How the referees miss out?
Is that a foul?
I would think so.
Was it a foul when he played for you?
No.
It's okay. Malone misses, and Payton is fouled that time by Manu Ginobili. Gary promised to have a little conversation, as is his wont normally during the game. He and Manu Ginobili really got into a verbal back and forth in the double overtime game in San Antonio back some 3 weeks ago.
He's really good. His trash talking is very, very good. He's top 5.
He's first ballot Hall of Fame trash talker.
He's very, very good.
Bryant took Bowen, drew the defense. Malone drew the foul on Duncan, who hit the deck hard and is shaken up. The foul was on Tim, but he's the one who took the worst of it. Greg Popovich unhappy that his star's the one who's hurt, and somehow he picked up the foul. And now they will come out to check on him. Duncan holding his head, not sure if it was hit by someone or if it hit the floor. Let's take a peek here.
Where you're going to watch him jump and the elbow just hits him right. It looks like right in the temple. And I said earlier, he leads with his elbows. And if you get too close, you're going to catch one of those things. And I'm sure Popovich is arguing, why is that a foul on my guy? He led with his elbow, hit the elbow in his face, and that's what Tim's, I'm sure, saying. And I would concur.
Words for Gary Benson there, and that's about as agitated as you ever see Tim Duncan in conversation with an official. Well, he has an angry look about him. Look at him. Never see Tim that angry.
When Tim Duncan was laying on the floor, I've never seen a whole team come out and surround the player. I mean, concern and appreciation for the greatness of Tim Duncan as a person and a player was shown very much by their basketball team in that display of care and worry.
Well, we seem to kind of dissect players and the fact they call them superstars or team players, role players. He's all of the above. He's the ultimate superstar, the ultimate role player, the ultimate team player. I mean, he does everything, and that's why the team respects that guy so much.
Karl Malone took a foot in the face accidentally earlier. Here is Duncan getting the Malone right elbow in the side of the head.
Well, Malone loves body contact. He loves to feel the body before he shoots a shot.
Wouldn't you with that body?
I just love to have that body. I don't care about feeling other bodies. I just take that one.
Take it for one day.
Of course, that takes... No, because then I'd be so mad the next day when I woke up and it was gone.
They're just not getting that juice.
Shaq gets a technical on his way to the bench, and Gary Payton trying to play peacemaker with Bernie Fryer on the way over. So O'Neal sits down with 3 fouls, 17 minutes, 0 of 3 from the field, 4 rebounds. Ginobili knocks down the tee, and now Bowen will come back for the second of his 2 free throws.
Has there ever been a time in the history of the NBA where somebody gets a tee, somebody talks to the official, and he says, you know what, I'm going to take that back?
There was a time.
Was it?
Jerry Reynolds fainted on the side of the court once, and they thought he was doing something. Referees gave it to you, and then they rescinded it. He's having a heart attack.
Twice, this was a serious one because back on January 28th, he bumped Courtney Kirkland, the official, at Arco Arena and was helped off the court. He was suspended for 7 games as a result, and then last Saturday was ejected here, but it seemed that the Utah Jazz went on 2 runs after the first technical, Jeff. They went on a 17-8 run and then a 9-4 edge after he was ejected. So in the last 5 years, Jerry Sloan leads the parade. But you know, Jerry Sloan has the longest tenure of any coach and manager of any major sport going right now, and he is as much of a landmark as the Mormon Temple here in the city.
You saw some great coaches on that list, and Jerry Sloan, the Jazz play off his emotion and passion, and that's why they play so hard and overachieve so much. It's because of Jerry Sloan's coaching, teaching, and passion.
Weber now with 10 points. Nicely inside to Christie, and trying to keep it alive was Pollard, but it'll be a foul called against the Utah Jazz and a technical foul. Pollard called for the foul. It was Pollard with the personal, and the technical foul called. Rick Adelman on the bench. And let's see whether a double technical was called here, and apparently it was both Pollard and Malone for the Jazz. Pollard and Malone, double technicals.
hurt. Great pass by Weber inside. Malone reaches back, knocks Pollard. A lot of contact on the second shot. There Pollard gets called for the foul. A little bumping and jostling after the foul. Double technicals. I hate the double technical. I want to know who initiated it. Call it on the guy who initiated it.
It's like a cop-out.
Well, yeah, and if you can't see who initiated, I think the NBA officials use that call too much. I think they know who initiates it sometimes, but would rather just diffuse the situation with the double technical. They're probably a good call.
Of aid. Backing down, Weber makes the move in the lane. Malone. Here's Stockton. And Malone getting tangled up with Chris Weber. And a foul's going to be charged to Weber.
Okay, they get tangled up after the shot. Okay, they go up. Carl does a good job. They fight for the ball. Carl runs him down. They hang on to each other. Let them play. There doesn't need to be a foul called. Plus, the officials had already ran by him, and they turned around and looked back and made a double foul call.
Of 8 in this new best-of-7 format.
Well, like I said, Matt, I really believe. Look at Ostertag's already. Ostertag is gone.
Greg Ostertag losing his cool early on, and Harpring trying to corral him. And they can ill afford to lose his presence in the middle here in Game 5. 2 double-doubles in the series. He has 3 double-figure rebounding games, and he's playing the best basketball of his playoff career.
That's ridiculous. Get the crowd fired up. Hopefully it'll get the Jazz fired up. Everybody in the world against the Jazz right now. Ostertag gone. Hey, but you know what? What the heck? Change it up a little bit. Bring in the shooters.
Reese Sloan picked up 2 technicals and was running the third quarter.
It's a little bit of a frustrating foul, but I mean, I don't have a problem if he gets a technical right there complaining, but you can't get kicked out of the game right now. That's just ballistic.
Outstanding Sacramento defense tonight, or is it the fact that they were just fatigued Dallas? Look out! Bobby Jackson and Roger Bell started to go at each other. Players are trying to break it up now. Jackson's teammates did not want to see Bobby throw a punch. And the Mavericks did not. A broken bone in his cheek area right there. And then you're going to talk about potential, suspensions and fines if someone winds up throwing a punch. There's a little extra contact right there. Just a hand on and shove away. Fortunately, it didn't escalate beyond that particular point. And guys were in there trying to break the thing up.
Affecting that, blocked it. And Bowen, offensive foul again. And it looked like Bowen knocked Snow down. They call Snow for the offensive foul, and a technical foul is going to be called on Randy Ayers for coming on the floor.
But it's a good technical because the crowd is fired up. People incensed over this call.
3 fouls on Snow. Aaron McKee, the voice of reason. Snow's still a little emotional.
What did you do? Foul him with his back as he was running away from him?
Snow pleading his case. Not going to help. Turkoglu will now shoot the one-shot technical. Let's take a peek. The arm was out. There was a push there by Snow, but it looked like Bowen got into right in his direct line of where he was going. Tough on that angle, but Snow did use his left arm to push Bowen away.
The arm was out there. That contact was incidental.
Until Snow fell down, and then something had to be called.
He lost his balance. He got his head out over from the midpoint between the 2 feet.
But no question, Snow had that left arm out a little bit.
A quick update on Jamal Crawford's frightful injury last night in the Bulls game. He has a sprained neck. He is out of the hospital, and thankfully he will be able to play again. No timetable has been set.